Okay, welcome everybody and good afternoon, at least afternoon in Torino, Italy. I'm Fabio Nascimbeni from the European Training Foundation. Happy to lead the ETF community of innovative educators, and specifically this new learning club on innovative STEAM education. Um, we are now in the last, let's say, working meeting of the cycle of this learning club, which started some around 6 months ago, a bit less than 6 months ago. And just to recap for you, this year we decided to structure the work of the community through thematic clubs that are groups of people. In this case, we are the main contributors to this club, but we have around 70 members of the club that come and go. And we know actually today it's the first week of school, so for many teachers is not maybe the best solution, but we wanted to keep the meeting now to we'll tell you later on to have some time then to refine our outcome. Basically, the first club that we launched at the beginning of this year is this club on innovative STEAM education, and this club is led by me from the ETF side, with the support of Roberto and Marta from STEPS, and with a leadership from Georgia. We have Medea and Merab, our two leaders from Georgia, who have been pushing from a content point of view the work of this club. The club started with the definition of what are the main challenges for educators working or trying to identify new ways to work with and around STEAM subjects. The concept came out of low tech and high impact solutions, so to try also to accommodate those contexts where technology is not, let's say, always present, technology and connectivity. And then starting from there, we moved from the challenges to some learning scenarios. And then for the summer, we identified a few learning scenarios, and we asked the members of the community to propose for every scenario some practices and some tools. We are happy to say that the summer homework was quite successful, so we have been working with the colleagues to let's say improve and accommodate your input, but let's say the 5 or 6 scenarios that we had identified together are all filled with content, not only practices, but also reflections, tools, and so on, and also strategies, let's say teaching strategies. But you will see this in a moment. We are now in a moment where we have produced, we have, let's say, put everything together in a visually nice outcome that we will show, that Roberto will show you later in this webinar. And now, from now until let's say mid-November, we will have time to get other contributions and to fine-tune this outcome. This outcome, again, is a set of STEAM innovative teaching scenarios. You will see it later. It is targeted STEAM teachers that are interested in innovation but are maybe not as innovative as you are, as pioneers and as contributors. And all this work will be presented in a large public webinar that we will organize in cooperation with the European Commission and in cooperation with the large network called Scientix, that you might know, during November. So this is let's say the closing of the cycle. And then let's say we will discuss also later with you what we could be doing. We have some ideas on how to bring the club forward, but we would like also to hear from you, depending, of course, on the energy that we can put into this club and on what will remain to be done around the outcome and around this field. The webinar of today is structured with some presentations before. As usual, we are getting some innovators to present their work, and we have a first session with 3 presentations with the voices of educators that will be moderated by Medea Abramishvili, and then my colleague Roberto will explain the final output and will show you actually the final outcome, and we will discuss how to improve it and how you can still contribute to that. Important to remember, the members who will contribute to this outcome will receive an open badge by the European Training Foundation as pioneer of the ETF community of innovative educators that you can, of course, share and use in your social media and curriculum. And finally, we will have a mini discussion on the public webinar and on the way forward. All from me now. I will leave the floor now to Medea to introduce the speakers, well, to give the word to the speakers. Please use the chat if you want to ask questions. After every presentation, we will have a few moments to discuss and to ask burning questions, and then we'll take it back and discuss the outcome. Welcome again, and the word to Medea.
Thank you, Fabio. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's session. And I will moderate the session named as Practices about STEAM Implementation. And I want to underline that we have exciting lineup of presentations today. As Fabio mentioned, you can write the comments or questions in the chat, and we will check them later and discuss about them. Okay, so our first presentation is Where Humanities Meet Science, which will be delivered by Ivana Kragic from Petit Philosophy. Ivana, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam. And hello to everybody. I'm Ivana Kragic from Petit Philosophy in Croatia, association that promotes critical thinking and philosophy for children. I will be presenting along with my colleagues from the high school Braća Rade Đakovo in Croatia also, one of the projects that STEPS, our main partners, also have implicated it in 2023-24. So hopefully it will show you some of the good practices of what we did in the project. My part will be very short because before we started doing the workshops and actual materials, we did comprehensive research with teachers, students, and parents of the high school students. It was a big research, and you have most of the part online, but some of the parts that I thought once Marta and Roberto has invited us, I selected some of the answers that might be interesting to you maybe for today for the project that you are putting out. So let me just try the technical stuff with sharing and with presentation. Is it visible to you?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Is it a full screen?
Not yet.
Now?
Yes,
Yeah.
now it is.
Okay, perfect. So it will take only 10 minutes, and then I'll leave it to my colleagues to present you the overall outcomes that were aroused from this research. So, but just to start, it was the project has ended now. The platform is still alive, and hopefully it will be going on for many more years to come. The project name was Full STEAM Ahead, Degenerating STEAM through STEM Education, Creative Thinking, and Secondary School. So what we started when we started doing, just let me, sorry. Okay. So when we started in the project and we were looking for the problems, one of the questions was, why is degenerating STEAM necessary in a high school education? So we researched already available data, and what research has shown is that girls gradually lose interest in STEM between ages of 12 and 15, and this decline continues in education and also in their career choices later on. One also, what is the problem is for boys that STEM becomes end of itself, and they do not view the natural science as a field of social utilities. So they very much separated human science with science subjects. And also the third part was increasing gender stereotypes aroused, and the reason for that is separation of natural science and humanity fields, not just in schools, but overall in the lifespan of the students. So these were the problems before we entered our project. So we started from that point how to solve these problems. So how to encourage degenerating STEM in high school education and to put down the stereotypes that becomes on the gender stereotypes by boys and the girls and their career choices and their subject interest. So what we wanted to do is transform STEM into with putting an A as an art into the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, but not just art, we also added the whole department of the human sciences, engaging it with the scientific subjects. So that's the second point, merging humanities and natural sciences together. Also, activities for developing critical thinking and creative thinking, along with the self-awareness and character building activities. As you will see later on in the research, that is one of the major necessity abilities that teachers need, but also the students. And also raising awareness and breaking gendered stereotypes, which you will see also in the student research, what we found. So which countries participated in the project? This was Croatia, Spain, Greece, and Italy. I am emphasizing this because the research was made in the mentioned countries here. In the project, we had one of the partners from the association or the firm, but also one high school participated also in the as a full partner in this project. But more high schools were involved also in the research. So how we did approach the project problem that I said before. First, we did the research, then we designed the materials based on the research, we did the piloting, and then we did the adjusting of material depending on the piloting results. Right now, I will just show you some main points of the research that I think it might be interesting for your platform. So we had 121 teachers that responded on online questionnaire, 53 high school students that completed the questionnaire, 23 teachers participated in the very extensive interviews one-on-one. 15 family members also participated, different family members, not just parents, and two representative provided responses for parent association in the Spain in IAS de la Calle school. And we also found a list 11 examples of the good practices. So we have the baseline before we put out our own materials to compare with it. What came up from this research is the development of methodological framework that the whole project was constructed among, and you can find it on our website to be more detailed than with more details than that I will present you now. So let's keep right on to the answers of the teachers and the research that we found. So in the question, in your opinion, which skills are most relevant for students to develop through the STEM education? The first skill that teachers think that it's most relevant is problem solving for STEM education. But as you can see it right here at the end, others were also very much on the high rank in the ranking skills that they think that students should be able to gain by the STEM education. Some of them are critical thinking, creativity, innovation, collaboration, curiosity, self-expression, and they also put other skills that they thought were very important. So when we asked them what kind of skills are those, the teachers mostly responded independence, justice, courage, mutual respect, self-confidence, emotional intelligence, which you will see also in the correlated with the students' answers, patience and self-knowledge, perception of oneself as a member of society. So beside the problem solving for which we know now today is very much needed for the STEM education, these are also skills that are very much determined that are needed by the teachers for students to be developing through STEM education. These are also skills that are very often are much more pinted out for the humanities than for the science. Then on the next question, in your opinion, which approaches would be the most suitable to motivate, empower female students in taking more interest in STEM education? The two highest ranked answers were connecting STEM to everyday life situation, which is very interesting because afterwards you will see also the students' responses on how they would be feel more motivated for the STEM education. They also respond to connecting those subjects and themes of STEM in everyday life situations. The other one was transdisciplinary teaching, combining STEM and other subjects, which we did in this project. But also the others were motivation tools were very high up, which is role models of women profiles, encouraging character building skills, career panorama of what are their solutions afterwards, after the high school, and also developing soft skills in science and engineering subjects. So all of them very much highly ranked. Now, this is very important question that we asked, because on this question, we based our subjects that we choose to combine from science and humanities together. So when we asked teachers, in your opinion, which subject students are more likely to engage? And this question was based on what do you think has more interest, boys and girls, depending on, are the boys more interesting to this, are the girls more interested to this? So these are the answers. The green line are the interest of the female students, and the semi-orange line is the interest of the male students. So as you can see, teachers think that female students have more curiosity about art, literature, and language, and psychology, while the male students are more engaged in engineering, computer science, and information and communication technology. Also, you will see that some of the subjects are share interest between boys and girls. So equally, I didn't overline that, but as you can see it on this line, very high score. There's a nature and environmental science, chemistry, music is very high up, biology, and design and technology. So these are some of sports, economics and sports as well. So these are some of the shared interest when it comes to the subjects that students prefer. So what it's interesting, it matches and it lines up with the student answers. So when we were questionnaring students, we asked them also, what is your favorite subject in school? As you can see, literature came up again, music, information and communication technology, geography, sports, and history. These are the most ranked, but we also have arts here, design and technology. Psychology is semi-interesting for them, mostly for female students. So we continue by asking students, what other topics would you like to explore in your school that is not at your disposal right now through your subjects? 22 students stated they would like to explore psychology and human emotions. Next to it, it was mostly rated music and movies. What is interesting to hear is when we were doing questionnaire, just underlining interested, not interested from 1 to 5, how much. Psychology wasn't that much. It was ranked only 7. Although the teachers saw big interest in students about psychology, but when you dig a little deeper, you will see that the students are very, very much interested in human emotion, self-expression, self-regulation, and so on and so on. So what it shows, they're very eager to have the skills of self-awareness that comes with the psychology, but that it's not very often empathized through the school subjects and topics in school. So other topics that were very popular, again, real life, just not real life situations, just like the teachers also stated it before. They wanted to know something about related to daily jobs that adults have and the things that are just coming towards their lives, research about animals, nature, cooking, human rights, and photography. So these were the main interests of the students. Further on, this is very interesting question, as we gave them 9 statements they needed to rank from completely disagree to completely agree. The highest points with the completely agreed statements were, I love tasks where I need to build something, find creative solutions. I have the support of my parents in my scientific interest. which was very important for this project because the parents are also involved, and one of the outcome is the materials for the parents to use at home with their children. And one of the highest rank was also, I would like to know more about women in science. So please keep in mind, when we were doing this project, primarily we started it for the females to get more interested in the science subjects. But as we were combining science and humanities, our focus was in the degenerating in the terms that we also get involved boys to be more interested and to find motivation for the humane subjects. So it was two-way street. When you see the other statements here, what it's very interesting for me was you have the option neither agree or disagree. And you have a high rank on those statements, on the several statements. So if I were opposite gender, I would probably like other subjects. So they didn't know they didn't agree or disagree. They didn't have an opinion on that. Also here, teachers do not pay equal attention to girls who love math and technology as much as to boys who love math and technology. And the boys have the talent for the technical stuffs and science, and the girls for social relations and arts. So what these high ranks of neither agree or disagree tell us is, as we did it in more research afterwards, is the cruciality of involving critical thinking in schools. So if you have the very clear statements like this, and you have a high number of students that don't agree or don't disagree, it's indicator that critical thinking needs to be more involved in the schools. So carrying on with the students' answers that might be interesting to you was also, how would you make science more interesting to you and your peers? 9 students stated that they do not know how would they make it more interesting. But the rest of the students suggested more practical interactive work, more experiments, more group and individual tasks, outdoor classroom, and again, connecting with the real life situations. So as this question was very much interesting for us, who is your role model in real life and why? Surprisingly for us, 27 students concluded that their parents and the family members are their role model in life, which was very nice to hear, as we were more expecting of pop stars and influencers and so on. 9 students stated they do not have a role model in life. 2 students, who I adore, really stated that they are their own role model in life and their success. 3 students said Jesus Christ, and 2 students said their own friends were their model in life. So you will see now in just a few minutes what are the outcomes of this research. And I'm saying again, this is just a small portion of the research that we did. These are some of the points that I think might be the most interesting to you, what we found. And maybe one more would be interesting to you is the from 40 to 60% teachers stated that in their own home and in their own schools, they do not have the opportunities to educate themselves about a STEM methodology, and they don't know or they don't have any possibilities to educate themselves. So that shows you how much these kind of projects are important, and how much is important that what you're doing now as teachers are eager and they very much need the platforms like this so they can continue and educate themselves and upgrade in their skills. So our motto for the entire project was a quote from astronomer Maria Michelli, who says, "We especially need imagination and science. It is not all mathematics nor all logic, but it's somehow beauty and the poetry as well." So that's all from me. Just let me put you back on my screen. Stop sharing. Okay. So this is just 10 minutes presentation of the highest point of the research. And now I don't know if you like to ask questions now or maybe once my colleagues
Thank you,
from.
Ivana. I would suggest that we listen to the presentation by the Croatian teachers because it's very much related to your introduction. But maybe in the meantime, as I saw that there is a very quick question in the chat by Eli, if there is any significant difference between countries. So you mentioned that some countries were involved in this project, Spain, Italy, Croatia, and so on. So did you realize that there were some interesting difference? Very quick question, very quick answer.
No, actually, that's very good question. The answers were very much in line by countries with each other, very much in line. There was nothing popping out that was too different from one country to another.
Okay.
Not even in the students' answers and in the teachers' answers. So the needs and wants are very much in line with the countries.
Oh, that's interesting to know. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your attention, and I'm leaving it to my colleagues to carry on with presentation.
Okay. You can share, like, we'll now hear from the Braća Radić Business School, yeah, if I pronounce it correctly. You can share your presentation, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Hello everyone, hello from Braća Radić School from Croatia. There are 6 of us in a team. 5 of the teachers are present here at the moment. We are at school. There is 1 teacher who is online with us. And I want to say thank you for having us as your guests. We are pleased and honored to be here and to share our workshop that we did in the project. Can you hear? Sorry. So we are business school, so it means our major course is business correspondence, and we got a chance to participate to take part in the STEM world by participating in the full STEAM Acad project, and it was very useful, and we are very thankful for that experience because it woke up critical thinking among our students, and then they started doing the self-reflection regarding their future career, gender equality, and it was very useful. So we will shortly report and show you the workshops we did. We made 3 workshops, and all of the workshops we did, all of the materials that were made during the project can be found online on the platform. So it was our result 3, the platform, and you can access all the materials, and if you like them, you can use them and adjust them the way you want. So first we will start with the online platform that my colleague Tomislav, who is sitting right next to me. He's an IT teacher, so he will explain how to use the platform, and then the other teachers will exchange and explain the workshops with it.
Okay, thank you. My name is Tomislav, and I am working as a teacher for the web design related subject. And now I will present you the platform, which can be found on the next web address, and you can write it down or take a screenshot or watch the recording later. When you open this web page, then you are entering the platform, and now you are seeing one image, but to access the platform, you need to scroll down a little bit, and when you scroll down, then the interesting part is on the left side of the screen, the teachers platform, and you can enter the teacher space for STEM teaching material, tools, and in-class application, and you need to select enter the platform. When you select enter the platform, now you are entering the space that is designed to hold all the materials and all the courses that you can explore. If you can see on the screen on the top left side, there is a search bar in which you can enter some keywords that you want to do with your students. And if those keywords are related with some of the topics, then these these courses will pop up on your screen and you can choose it. If you don't want to use this search bar, then you can just scroll down here and see all the courses that you can do and explore them. On the central part of the screen, on the top part, there is a language bar and you can change your language. And if you can see, the central part of the platform is now locked out for unregistered user. So to use the platform, you need to make a login and free registration. So the platform is completely free and you need to enter your username, password, do registration. And after you log in, you are now entering the administrative part of the platform for you as a user. And now you can see in the central part all the courses again. And on the right side, you can see the progression that you made through the platform, lessons that you have completed, when have you started using the platform, and you can see the duration of using the platform is a lifetime. When you click continue, now you again have the screen from the moment before, but now the central part is unlocked and you can use it. For example, here we clicked art and science and you can see all about this course, the age that is recommended for your students, materials, time, group size, objectives, and you can scroll down through the course, click next and do that course with your students. We wanted with this platform to encourage you to fully explore these materials and use it with your students, and we are hoping that it will be helpful for you. That's all from me now, and I will hand it over to my colleagues Spomenka and Anna Maria. They will show you and present you some courses that school has implemented. Thank you very much, and I will leave that to them.
Hello, everyone. My name is Spomenka, and I'm economic teacher. Hello, my name is Anna Maria, and I also work as a teacher of the economy subjects. And me and my colleague Spomenka will tell you shortly about the workshops. This workshop is called New Old because it combines the old game in a new way. This is a game we used to play in the childhood. Hope you heard about it too, maybe even played it. It is elastics. To play the game, you need a large band, and it is placed around the legs of two players in the lowest position on the ankles. And then the third player has to perform a whole series of more or less complicated movements. In the project, students learned the rules of the game, played it in a PE class, and made the video about it. Thank you, Maria. The task of the teacher in this workshop was to measure some values such as blood pressure, heartbeats, and visual signs such as redness and sweating, and it was done before and after the game. This workshop proved that by playing elastics, we make influence on the development of functional abilities, the work of the cardiovascular and respiratory system, and especially on the sense of the rhythm and speed coordination. So a piece of advice for everyone, play the elastics and stay healthy and fit. Our colleague Domagoj will shortly present our next workshop.
Hello, my name is Domagoj and I also work as a teacher of economics subject. I will present workshop whose name is Waste is Not Garbage. During the workshop, we produce an enzyme from the remains of fruit and vegetables that we use to clean the practicum. The workshop lasted 3 months, which means bioenzyme production process. Through the discussion, we created a sense of personal responsibility for sorting household waste, regardless of gender. After that, we agreed that we would collect the remains of fruits and vegetables and bring them to school and leave them in the designated area. We added a mixture of sugar and water in a certain ratio to the fruit and vegetable waste. We had leave some area in the bottle of fermentation. Our colleague Mirela and Anna will shortly present our next workshop.
Hello, everybody. My name is Anna, and I also work at the same school. I teach Croatian language. Mirela and I will tell you something about our last workshop that was called, as you can see, Great Women. We had much fun creating it. It was very interesting. The title Great Women stands for the promotion of women and also of women in general, but also something that we don't know about them. We like to say they're hidden talents. The workshop included research about female celebrities, actually actresses. I think you probably recognize them on these pictures, and those actresses are known to us from TV shows or from movies. We chose some of them. I'm sure there are many more to find out about, but let me just tell you which one we chose. I'm sure you all heard about Lisa Kudrow, or maybe Eva Longoria. Then Mayim Bialik. They're all very, very famous. As a fan of Star Wars, I'm glad we researched Natalie Portman. And last but not least, it's Hedy Lamarr. Okay, all these women are worldwide known. I hope you also have heard of them. They're known by their roles in the show business and less known by their scientific careers or even not known. And student task was actually to do the research to discover their hidden talents, to discover their scientific career. So you can see now scenes from the class while they were doing it. So they used their mobile phones to do the research, and it was very fun. It was interesting for them. They recognized the ladies, but only by their showbiz roles. Can you hear us, or we should be a little bit louder, or it's okay?
No, it's okay.
It's okay.
We hear it. Yes.
Okay, so they were making zines, and I just want to say that if you are wondering what a zine is, don't worry. I have to encourage you to do it, because we were all wondering too. When Mirela introduced us to zines, we were very interested in making them. It sounded very creative, and I must say that I'm very glad that our partners were interested in making zines too. As Ivana told us, the zines were a hit among our partners, so thank you, Ivana, for that information. It's very good to know. Okay, so I found actually that term zine in a textbook since and I'm an English teacher, so I was also wondering, oh, what is a zine? So I also had to do some research. So zine, shortened for magazine, is a short handmade booklet art book you can easily create. So there are some rules you need to follow to make this booklet. So the rules are pretty easy, can be easily found on the internet, and you need to follow the rules, which are simple. You need to do some folding, unfold, and do some cut. You can do it with the scissors or without scissors. And when we introduced the zines to students, they loved it. Sorry for the bell. It's the end of the lesson in our school. So the students were thrilled by this method because digital technology is all the time around them. They use mobile phones at the beginning of the lesson and then doing something creative using their hands. So they felt like in the kindergarten, and they liked that part very much. So why we use the zines? The zines were actually they were method of exchanging the information that they had previously found. So after doing the research and after finding some information about the women, they did the zines. So they used their imagination to decorate the zines the way they want. They like that part very much. And then after that,
the last part you think
they exchange the information.
okay,
They exchange the information. So you can see now some of them that they made. So after that, they exchange. So you see the boy in front of the class. They exchange the information what they had found, and they obviously upgraded their knowledge about those women. They had a lot of fun and they loved it.
okay. The last part of this interesting workshop was, of course, a discussion. We like to think that it is always maybe the most important part. Our students were very creative in their handwork, but also had much to say about great women. They talked about career choices, always an important subject with the young people. And also they did their self-reflection. And I can honestly say it was very productive. For example, they talked about some questions, and some of them were, is achieving a double role easy? Or would they prefer acting or science role, and why so? It was very interesting. And they also discussed the myth that women are better at multitasking. And it's a world-known myth, and I'm sure you all have your opinion on that. As a woman, I maybe think that we are. So overall, the conclusion of this workshop was that the strength that women have is so powerful, but unfortunately, it is not yet equally recognized worldwide. So I like to say the change is slow, but it is also inevitable.
Okay, yes, and there is also lack of motivation and encouragement, I think. So here you can see the product, the zines they made about so they learned about those women, they discovered their hidden talents by doing zines. Everybody had fun, and top of it was the discussion where they did that self-reflection and so on. It was the most important part of it. So here we have some links for making zines, and there is also something, but I'm not sure if it will work, or I don't know. I don't think if we have time. I just wanted to say what we used as an icebreaker. It was an extract, a scene from a sitcom, The Year of the Big Bang. I hope you watched it. And there was a scene, girls were talking about going to Disneyland and so on, being princess and so on. You know that girls like being princesses. And then one of them says, somebody needs to be a scientist too, because science needs women and their brain power. So that's how we actually finish our presentation. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for listening to us. Hope we met your expectations. And
We were very honored to be a part of a STEAM club, even for a day, even for
yes.
a little bit. Thank you.
Okay, since we are
Thank
at
you.
school, yes, we have lessons, so we are very sorry that we cannot stay longer. But we would like to stay in contact with you, to stay in touch with you.
And hopefully, some of you will take the time from your busy schedule and maybe do this workshop with somebody if you are in a position to do so. And I just want to say at the end, being a woman myself, I enjoyed doing this workshop, and for all the women out there who want to do both science and art, science and humanities, I just say, you go, girl. You can do it. Go for it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your contribution, nice examples. And of course, I'm sure we will dig into your scenarios and your workshops in depth. And there is a quick question from Ailey, as I remember. It was if you're going to scale up this experience. Yeah. And then Fabio.
Maybe Ivana knows a little bit more about this.
Well, in terms of scaling up, we have entered application for the new project that will be continuous on this one, but didn't pass so hopefully for the next year it will be adaptation upgrade to this project, if that was the question regarding the scaling up of the workshops.
Yeah, what I was replying to Eli in the chat, sorry to interrupt, is that actually through the outcome that Roberto will present later and through the work of the community of innovative educators, we can actually find ways for at least transferability, maybe not necessarily scalability, this is beyond our capacity, but to make sure that this experience is known in other countries, in other contexts, this we can surely help and make sure that things are used, maybe translated, and so on. So let's keep in touch for this. Absolutely. Congratulations for the fantastic experience.
Thank you. And I do need to, when you say it in those words for translating in other languages, all of the workshops are presented step by step, but all of the steps are open to interpretation depending on your country. So you can use the other people, other materials, you can cut off, you can add more. So it's all very open sources for each country to adapt it by the needs of their own teachers and students. It's not written in stone, right?
Okay, thank you very much. Our next presentation is about renewable life, and Gulcan Parlamish will introduce this. So Gulcan, floor is yours.
Thank you.
Hello.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen. The name of my project, Renewable Life. I am Gülcan Parlamış. I'm a computer science teacher in Vet High School in Istanbul. I like to play volleyball, tennis, archery, badminton. I like to meet new people, new relationships for my project. Thus, I created a lot of projects such as e-twinning, Erasmus. I'm incurring and exciting. I teach Arduino, Lego Spike, software, CCNN, AI courses. My project in STEM is Renewable Life in TÜBİTAK. Students create a house includes renewable resources. For example, solar system is basic sources. They are 16 years old, and they study vocational high school. Our motivation in this project, decreasing energy resources. Thanks to the projects, students increase their knowledge in the robotic lessons and carried out project-based learning. Students improved their design skills because they have to design a house for renewable for expressing energy resources. Our objectives: solar panels receive solar energy by storing it with the help of an inverter. Inverter is a new component for them. Arduino micro home system controller card, and this card with the help of the IDE program, we programmed install the panels on the sunny side of the house, rotates to maximize solar energy. Our 5 objectives: applying what they learned in robotics class to real life, provide required enlightenment through solar system, provide required water through rainwater accumulated on the roof, raise students' awareness about climate exchange, the water needs of the house with the help of the pump. This video. It's a solar system.
Parlaklığı artıyor değil mi?
They tried a lot of experiences for solar system.
Suyu alıyoruz buradan orada.
This system is for accumulated rainwater with the pump.
Bu şekilde. Musluktan akıtıyoruz bu şekilde.
Accumulated rainwater basement floor in this, and the connected the top of house.
Havada doluyor. Suyu alıyoruz buradan hortum.
It's solar system. It's very hard for my students because they designed the solar system with solar panel with well of the car. It's bottom in the bottom. And we used LDR components for light, sunlight. and they created a hash bridge electronic equipment, and they used inverter in here. So when we finished, we present the virtual, we present exhibition, TÜBİTAK exhibition. They present our project. Results, students applied what they learned in robotic class to real life. Students raised their awareness about climate action project. Students made a decision to enhance, to use different robotic solutions, especially Lego pieces. I prevent to use Lego pieces because I want to use some components, for example, sticks, for example, something about something that something not electronic components, and I want to enhance our design skills. Students use FEP, so some components when they damaged, for example, inverter. They worked some circuits by making errors. It's an innovative and collaborative approach. They try to product for significant problems because climate exchange is significant problems for us. I'd like to share applying the project in the project made the robotics lessons meaningful. It provided a very good collaboration. Students stayed after school to study for the project willingly. They have informed from both Turkish and international sources. I did a little translation here. Thank you for attention. My contact details, email and LinkedIn. I'm using actively.
Thank you, Gulcan. It was really interesting. Any comments or questions? If so, please write in the chat. Okay, let's continue. Now, Roberto will introduce the draft of the outcome of our club. So, Roberto, please, maybe someone will write the question later. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you again. Thanks to all the speakers who are here today, first of all, because we saw very different things and very different kind of results and really practical outputs, practical products that could be used. I'm also happy to see that some participants are interested in possible, let's say, transferability and scalability of these practices. So first of all, I would say that the first contribution was more about how some kind of researches and analysis were done in order to have a perspective of gender topic in STEAM, and then we have this interesting products developed and piloted by the teachers in Croatia, and then again from Gülcan, this very interesting example in Turkey. So thank you very much again. Now, as we said since the beginning, this club is a way to network, to talk, to discuss, to see new practices, but also to produce something tangible. And that is why we first of all started from the spreadsheet that you may remember, because some of you contributed. So thank you all who took the time to present something here and to describe some practices or simply, let's say, scenarios. If you remember, we divided the macro STEAM topic in 6 different, seven different possible scenarios, and people were asked to participate, giving some contribution on the scenarios that they thought could be more skilled or more experienced to write something about. So thank you again for everybody who contributed. And what we have done afterwards, we collected all these learning scenarios, we analyzed them, we elaborated a bit, and well, now I'm sharing the main output that our colleague Marta, during the summer, started to structure a layout, first of all, and to analyze these practices, these scenarios, in order to be included in this collection. So this, let's say, presentation, this output that you are seeing now, was done with an online tool that is called Genially. I guess that most of you already know it, how it works. And Marta created this booklet, or I don't know, simple collection of learning scenarios that could be considered like an easy to use tool for everybody, for all the teachers and for all educators. So with low tech, high impact, and this is collection of inspirational practices. We start from here, and here is the table of the content. Starting from the introduction, people can find some information about the role of the club, the aim of the collection, and here is the link to the page, to the open space page that sooner or later will appear. In the meantime, we can check what else is included here, and we come back to the table of content. Set STEAM vision. This is a kind of introduction that was partly inspired by the framework, the STEM framework that was introduced by some Flemish colleagues during the second, I think, meeting of our club, and this was and here what we also created was a specific page with some messages, some key elements, some summaries about what to do in order to share this practice that was coming from the Catholic University in the Flanders. With the video is...
I will tell you something about how we change the traditional way of teaching.
The video is the presentation by Joe De Sutter during our webinar. So we cut and create this video in order to show it and give this multimedia perspective, let's say, to our presentation. Then coming back to we didn't complete all the scenarios. For example, we have to work again on applying query-based learning, but we have also something about use digital technology. And this is another example that was offered by this Greek school, and with some resources that are available. So if I click here, I go directly to the open space page, where I will get some more detailed information about these scenarios. Sometimes open space is very slow to be opened. And for example, here you go directly to this open space page, where you can find the description of this learning scenario with the table, giving title, the age, all the details about the objectives and the age of the people, of the students that could be addressed, and so on. The lesson plan, the preparation, and all the various steps that should be taken in order to apply this practice also in our in another school. Okay, and of course this was the main link of the Innovative STEAM Education Club. And okay, coming back to the table one, here we have this other example that is, by the way, the same that was presented by colleagues from Croatian school 10 minutes ago. So this is about the Ekonomska škola, yes, in Croatia, and this is the same description structure with step by step what to do, and the YouTube links that were mentioned by the teachers now. So here is very practical, and we hope that thanks to this page and also thanks to this very short teaser, let's say, users could be motivated to read and learn. This is another one. This is from our Turkish friend Salçuk. STEM stands together is the name of this practice. Here is the link to the YouTube video where Salçuk is presenting his practice. And
hello everyone. My name is Selçuk Yusuf. I would like to share with you my STEM stands together.
So this can help people to learn more by the practice. And here is also this interesting shared booklet. This is a PDF file with a lot of information about this practice. You can see that there is a lot to read and a lot to learn. And this is it for all the practices. This is the one from Zebo with the link to the open space page where you can find all the information about her practice. Most of these pages, open space pages, are still unpublished because we wanted to show them beforehand, but they will become public in the next days, and we wanted first of all to show you how this works and how this was structured, also to get your comments. And this is another learning scenario. This one was presented during the second meeting by our colleague Mamuka Pagidze. And this is once again the the video with his presentation. We are also working on this, let's say, final or credits page where people can find themselves in the geographical map with some thanks to all the contributors, and the possibility to add a practice. So you just have to click here and you will be led to the open space page, ETF open page, where you can describe and share your practice. And of course, where you see the white instead of yellow, it means that we are still working on it, and we are finalizing our work in order to be ready for the end of October, let's say, more or less. I can also show you how the template works. So there is still some work to do. So this is the introduction and the first page, the section that could be added, and so on. So this is the way that it works. And of course, we will add possible navigation buttons in order to make it more simple to use for everybody and to understand exactly where they are. This is the practice shared by the Croatian school. And yeah, more or less, this is the final output. So thank you again, especially Marta, for creating this layout, this nice layout. And of course, if you have some comments and feedback to share as a first impression, of course, you are more than welcome. And as I said, we have still time, a couple of months, more or less, maybe less, to add more practices, and of course to modify and change this model according to your feedback. So any comment is more than welcome now.
If I can add, I think we have two categories of contributors: the ones who have really shared the practice, so provided a piece of content, and then the ones who have commented, who will comment, who will add some ideas, maybe some links, and so on. So for both categories, let's say we consider everybody as a full member of this club. We discussed many times how, what should be the level. I think the ones who presented, for example, their cases, like you saw, for example, the case presented today from Croatia is already included in the tool, and then the tool will evolve. So the idea is that this should be something open for further iterations, but still, the invitation by Roberto, I think, is important to, first of all, keep on suggesting practices. So I think we should give ourselves, I would say, until the end of September, more or less, before closing the content. So 3 more weeks, maybe with a couple of reminders to get more practices in case, and or comments which might be, please add a general page on what could be STEAM, please add a page with some manuals and guidelines, whatever. I mean, you are the stereotypical readers and users of this document. So your colleagues are the ones who will be using this. Your colleagues from different countries and different contexts. So let's say I think it's a very good outcome, because it structures what we have, what you have done in these 6 months, but we have now almost a month, I think, to close the content and then to fine-tune it, and finally to present it to the larger public of the community and of other communities. So this is the first time we present it, so we would like to hear from you. We have already worked on this with our leaders, with Merab and Medea, but we haven't heard from you. So any comment on this idea of structuring the scenarios like this? Feel free to. We will surely share the link for comments. I think there was a request we can share. I would not share the editable link, otherwise we risk to make a bit of mess, but we can share the link and you can send comments to us. But please feel free to take the floor and let us know what you think.
So yeah, may I?
Sure.
Hello. Yeah, I just want to say that at the beginning I was not so sure what kind of outcome we could have during this club. But now, after participating almost in all clubs meeting, I can say, so great job, great work. Yes, and the final outputs presented were comprehensive and well structured. And I would say, so this final output could help not only educators, but also the specialists who are working on different fields, because I've seen how much interdisciplinary approach was used. And that's also one key achievements of the club. And so on the example of Daria Club, I could say that using the example of the this club, the ETF Club, we try to organize professional development club within Daria project, and today we had the first meeting, and yeah, I receive not only theoretical but also practical approach, and we are trying to widening the like the idea of this club. And thank you for all information and for very meaningful presentations. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Zebo. I think it's, of course, then the idea is that this content will be one of the ways to access everything that is on open space and all the links, all your different profiles and links, and at the same time to be opened up to new regions and countries and languages. Why not? Because at least in open space, everything is translatable, and as far as I know, is working quite well. In Genially, I don't know if we can put an automatic translation there, but the important thing is read the content, so I think that will be working. I think Mukhtiar, you wanted to say something?
Yes, can I?
Sure, please. Welcome.
I am Mukhtar Burfat. I am from Pakistan, Sindh. I am a high school teacher. So I think STEAM is a very hard and developing country because their environment is different from Europe and Australia or America. Okay, so we must be trained teachers. We need trained teacher on this program. This is my suggestion. I don't know. I'm wrong or I'm right. I don't know. I am here. I am in a STEAM program first time I'm using. So I have just little bit ideas. I will share and through email. I will share my email. So if any need my ideas, so I will email them. Okay.
Thank you. Actually, you're right. And in this very group, there are a few people. Now I will give the floor later to Merab and to Medea, who have been working a lot, and also Zebo, on teaching, on training teachers on new ways of teaching and STEAM as well. I don't know, Merab. I know in Georgia there has been a lot of work on teachers' capacity building around science and the STEM. I don't know if you want to reply to Mukhtiar. Actually, it's a very good point. Absolutely.
Well, definitely. I've also tried from the beginning to use more like low-tech approach. and it was visible from the presentations as well. So I guess if you try to encourage curiosity in students, you can do it with the low tech as well. The problem is then after that, whether there are available pathways, career pathways for them to use this curiosity and not to lose them. So probably there are solutions that we can also contribute to in the high school level or middle school level, when, as we can see from the research, when this curiosity could end and abruptly, especially for girls. But in general, I think there are plenty of examples and approaches from developing countries as well, when the low tech is applied and still good results are achieved. What I like the most from this club's idea is horizontal sharing, and I've learned also many things today. Unfortunately, our presenters have left, but well, good that they went to teach and to the lessons. I had some questions to them as well. So probably, and also we discussed internally that we'll not we'll tell the club members that we're not stopping right now. We'll some kind of introduce the follow-up stage and also cooperate with the other initiatives. So I think the more systematic approach towards horizontal sharing and also the new platform that was presented could contribute also to encouraging more people from any geographical region with a different kind of socio-economical restrictions or backgrounds to participate and contribute, and then reapply many of really good solutions. One thought from, I also put it down, is that there were some projects that are now ended and some discoveries there. So I even thought to maybe creating a chatbot using AI to discover these past initiatives, what was done already. Maybe there are some ideas that could be reintroduced or reconsidered in the new context or developed further. Because it's a pity always, because when it's a project-based approach, it's not supported by the education authorities to like high extent, then it often ends up with the project. So I think that this new platform will help also to overcome this limitation.
Thank you, Merab. And I think we have moved smoothly to the last session. That's why, I mean, I think you are introducing a couple of important points. The first point is what is left in the club work in order to reach a final draft of the outcome. This product will always be a draft by definition, in the sense that it will be connected to the open space database, so it will be alive. But still, we need to find a moment, I think, and I suggest end of September as a moment where we will close the content creation for the content gathering for this first version, and then we will work to fine-tune it and to be presented in the last webinar. In the last webinar, we will have Scientix with us. So it's one of the biggest platform on STEAM in the world. It is supported by the European Commission, and they are, let's say, they've been a partner of our club since the very beginning, and they are looking forward to work with us and to promote not only the content of the tool, but also the owners, the ones who provided content and who contributed to the tool and their work. And then, so we're going to have this webinar, and most probably in this webinar, we will be asking you, a few of the speakers, to have some mini snapshots to present briefly something, so to make it a bit, let's say, a bit lively. So, and this should happen during October, maybe Roberto later, if you, sorry, I think we were thinking about October, November, but let's see later the details. And then the other important thing is what to do next with the club, because as Mukhtar was saying, you know, there are many contexts where, for example, teacher training is key in the case of STEAM. So this could be another chapter of the club's life, or we could find other ways to connect with other initiatives and European projects, as we heard today, and so on. So our idea as a European Training Foundation is to keep on working within the ETF community of innovative educators in the area of STEAM and of STEM, both acronyms work, and let's say to make sure that anybody wanting to learn through this tool and wanting to contribute through this tool and through the knowledge sharing that we can facilitate can do that. We will need to see how to support this. It might be through webinars from time to time when we find enough nice practices like today. It could be through by connecting with things like Scientix and other congresses and events. For example, the STEAM Woman Congress that has a very important gender aspect, as we heard today. So this will become, I think, will be a bit more flexible than now. Now we had for these 6 months two objectives: to produce a tool that we did and to gather some 20, let's say, pioneers, and we are now 17. I know some other people that are not here with us today, so I think we reached both objectives, and now we just have to make this known to the world through the last webinar. And I wanted to hear from Merab and Medea, who have been with us through all this period, if you have other ideas for the future and for the next period, and from Roberto, of course, and Marta, and from everybody. So last round of comments before we close.
Okay, what I definitely know that I don't want to end this club. So let's see how can we collaborate, what can we do, and how what can be implemented after this output. But still, there was an idea about training the teachers, and because it's one of the most difficult part of implementation of STEAM, let's say we could do or make a framework, conceptual or a theoretical framework about teachers training module or something like that, which will be implemented in several countries. And then we also could do the research, what worked and what did not. So yeah, I think to change the thoughts of the teachers and way of the implementation of STEAM, the clear guides or ways should be introduced to them. So let's say for me, for myself, I'm ready to be in touch all the time and do the STEAM and STEM stuff. Yeah.
Well, there could be many directions to continue. Well, from today, I also grabbed a new idea, not new, but my question was for further research or maybe analytics and how the boys' behavior changed during and after the gender balanced team projects, because it's one part, girls' attitude and the projects targeting young women, but again, still in the IT and technology field afterwards in the business, this 70 to 30 at best ratio pertains. So it means that the 70% of this workforce in this many of technology fields still remains men and boys. So probably, I think there were some, of course, research and analytics on the topic, but we can also consider it because yes, team it appears to be still not fully balanced. And another one is for the next period, there is another parallel AA club. Maybe we can find some ways to cross-fertilize our activities or consider AI again. So to think about some kind of collaboration between the clubs as well. So do something either together and consider comment to each other on each other's work, or listen to them what they think about this portal, and also to get acquainted more about what they did, because while AI is in the hype and the trend, it's universal, and it will also definitely touch STEM fields. And it also originated, I remember my first encounter with the AI was the medical research, which was the big data was analyzed at 30 years of some patient observations, and the AI helped some to find some patterns in the treatment for some cancer patients, and it was a success. And it's mostly ethically neutral, so there are less problems in these fields in which it's sustained. It's probably not related directly to our club. And the third observation that very interesting from the research was that there are some subject areas where the girls and boys' interests coincide. Maybe we can push a little bit further in this. It was environmental science, and I also have seen geography and some others. So there is a natural balance of interest. Maybe we can go a little bit deeper or think about this, whether in this area something more could be done.
Thank you. I agree to keep this open approach and to see what happens from now until the end of the year in terms of different roads. But I also agree with Medea that we were able to build up, let's say, a core group of people. Let's say, I think we are around 30 people that could be considered the pioneers, in the sense that we have around 30 people who have contributed one way or another to the outcome. Hopefully there will become more. And these people, we consider this group of people as the kernel of innovators within the community in the field of STEAM. That doesn't mean that there are no other innovators, of course, but these are the ones that in this period, in this club, took the time and the energy and had the chance, of course, also to contribute. So the club will stay open for others to join, but I think it's good from our point of view that we identified this energy, and what we can commit to for sure is to keep on exploring with the European Commission, with scientists, and with others, with the teacher task force of UNESCO, for example, who is going to be looking at STEAM again in the future, it seems, and so on and so forth, for possible new opportunities and new ways, also geographically, like Zeba was mentioning before, in terms of Central Asian countries. So with all of this, Jessica, I think, yeah. Please.
Yeah, okay. So I know we're at the very end, but I just wanted to present myself because I'm really arrived in the very last moment. I'm sorry for that, but I'm so thrilled that I discovered this club. And actually, I'm working for a research institute in Italy that works with the Ministry of Education. And we are the national contact point for scientists, and also work with European Schoolnet on STEM projects, on integrated STEM, and now we are working on a roadmap for integrated STEM. And I was so happy to find this club because it's always so important to hear what the teachers are doing and thinking and what their needs. And somehow my work is on the center, on the point, on the crossroad between policy and the needs of the teachers. And so all the comments and the experience and all the needs, or how they solve problems and overcome the difficulties or some barriers, very, very useful information, helpful. And hopefully, and I hope the club goes on, the work goes on, it seems so. I can also contribute from my point of view, from the experience that I have, maybe with the policies or with higher up levels. And we do also a lot of experimentation in classes with teachers. So we have bunches of experiences, but unfortunately not me as a teacher. So we're working close with teachers, but from a research point, or from if some approaches are feasible. So I just wanted to say hello to everyone. I see your presentation, really excellent work. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. Actually, it's very important for us. We are working with scientists with the headquarters in Brussels, but actually we have also a foot on scientists in Georgia through Medea and some other colleagues. But also let's be in touch also for possible developments. We are in Torino, you are in Florence, it's not so far away. And I'm personally often in Bologna, so even closer to Firenze than the rest. Okay, thank you very much. Very encouraging. And for sure, the club will stay there one way or another, and we'll see which shape. And it's good. Of course, we will gather people also along the way, as it happened with Jessica. So it's quite normal that let's say, I think we are on the right track to produce, and we are producing something at least with the useful approach. I totally agree that the voice of teachers should be more heardable by policymakers and by managers. All right, so thank you very much.
Maybe we can even
One second. Can I ask something?
Yes, please.
My son say hi.
Hello, hello.
Hello. We can finally remind that the possible date for the final public webinar will be 19th of November. And so this wouldn't be the internal club's meeting, but a public event where everybody will be invited. So everybody invited to this, everybody that is interested to this topic will be invited. So there will be presentations, and of course the agenda will be drafted in the next weeks. But at least if you want to save the date, now Fabio, would be 19th of November.
Thank you very much.
And we hope that it wouldn't be the last opportunity for us to meet about the club. We'll still be alive.
Good. So thank you very much for being with us, and thank you also to the newcomers. It's good to see that you're gathering new people along the way, and we'll meet. Let's say, you'll get, as usual, an email in the next couple of days with the homework from now until the end of September to gather even more content, and we will meet in November for the final webinar. Thank you very much. A good afternoon or morning, depending on where you are.
Thank you.
Good rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. See you. Take care.